Hello and welcome to another edition of the Florida Retail Federation's Captiol Connections. My name is James Miller. I'm Senior Director of External Affairs. And joining me today is Grace Lovett, our Vice President of Government Affairs, and Jake Farmer, our Director of Government Affairs. And normally we come to you in video format in years past, but this week we're going to try something a little different, do an audio version, and hopefully it's a little easier for our members to consume, whether you're driving or at work or wherever you may be. Hopefully it's a little easier for you to listen to it and get some information that may keep you up to date on what's going on with everything we have going on here in Tallahassee. And so we'll go ahead and get started. We have 3 or 4 topics here we'll get to this week. And we'll start with Grace. Grace, our Pharmacy Council is obviously one of our most popular councils and does a lot of work here at the Capitol in Tallahassee. And this week we had a number of pharmacy-related pieces of legislation come out and discussed. And can you kind of fill us in on where they are, where they stand, and kind of what happened this week overall with pharmacy?
Sure. We're super excited that the e-prescribing bill has been filed by Representative Amber Mariano. And we're expecting that bill to come out in the Senate any day now, like early next week. So that those pieces of legislation are rolling in play, and we're excited about that. And then we also have quite a coalition put together for the flu and strep testing for pharmacists, pharmacy-related legislation. And we met with several members on the committee for its first committee of reference. So a lot of meetings there, and hoping to get that on the agenda really soon.
And I think one great thing we did last week is we actually had a provider come in with one of the flu testing machines and actually show some members exactly how the machine works. This is the same machine you would find in a doctor's office or an urgent care, but our goal is to make these available at a pharmacist and just open that up for consumers to have better access to healthcare. So we're very excited about the meetings we had.
That's awesome. That's something for our pharmacy members to look forward to, hopefully going forward. Another issue, we'll start with you this time, Jake, on preemptions. Obviously, we prefer things to be at the state level rather than local level, but one of them in particular that you guys have been working on is related to attorney's fees. If you can kind of explain what they are and how they work and how it might benefit our members.
Absolutely. So we think this is a pretty great idea, and our goal here, and we've had the legislation filed this week to allow a group such as FRF, if we have to sue a local government for passing an ordinance that is in clear violation of state law, if we are found favorable in that suit, we believe that we should be able to recoup attorney's fees as well as damages. And so Representative Anthony Sabatini has filed that legislation this week, and Senator Hudson will be filing it in the Senate next week. So we're very excited. We believe this will be a nice deterrent from local governments to not just pass these local ordinances which are a clear violation of state law.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, an example of that is the recent Miami Beach case where Miami Beach they passed an ordinance to raise the minimum wage to $15. And FRF and several other business groups came together and had to sue Miami Beach. And we were found, it was a favorable judgment to our associations, but if we had this bill in place already, we'd be able to recoup the attorney's fees, which were quite a lot of money. We spent a lot of money. Sure. So this could be really great going forward, and I want to echo really the purpose Jake mentioned is that maybe it'll make them think twice about banning sunscreen or whatever the product du jour.
Yeah, hot topic of this week, right?
And speaking of banning, the big play right now and the big popular thing is to ban plastic straws. And Florida Retail Federation was vital in crafting legislation that would create a kind of a straw preemption. So for the next 5 years, we're going to create a study. We're actually going to have the legislator look at the impact straws have on the overall pollution. And at the end of that 5 years, the state can decide whether or not to do a statewide ban or to ban bans in a way. Right. So we're really excited about that. And during that 5 years, no local government can enact any legislation that would ban plastic straws. And that we would leave that to businesses to make the decision for themselves.
And one thing I think that kind of gets lost in that conversation a little bit is the efforts that our members make in recycling and doing everything to promote those efforts. And We're a big member of the RAP Recycling Coalition, something we're very proud of, and hopefully we can resolve this issue and one way or the other in the next few weeks. So, and finally, Grace, I'll go back to you to start this one, but I'm going to throw out a few numbers for you regarding retail theft and organized retail crime. $30 billion nationally, $2.4 billion just here in Florida, and the local governments are losing $1.6 billion in lost revenue because of organized retail crime. Those are pretty substantial numbers. Can you talk about the efforts or the progress we made this week on organized retail crime, retail theft, and felony theft overall?
Yeah. The bill that Senator Brandis has filed, it was up in committee this week, and it currently increases the felony threshold. Its current law, it's $300, and the legislation would increase it to $1,500. So obviously, Retail Federation is very concerned about that increase, and we did provide testimony in committee to that fact. And we also shared with them that our purpose really is, not to go after the young person who on a dare, we've heard several illustrations of a honor student who on a dare steals a prom dress. So we really don't want to brand that young lady as a felon for the rest of her life. What we are targeting, or what we need to put a brighter light on, is the organized retail theft. And so what we've been doing is educating members around the Capitol, hoping to amend Senator Brandis' bill, and then over in the House it's Representative Donald's. But what we want to do is, current Florida law is just really not that strong. It tends to try to maybe get at the ringleader and leaves out the person who's actually committing the crime. So we're trying to beef that up, tie it together, and hopefully we'll be able to amend the legislation to help with that.
Yeah, and a big part of that also, I'll just add in, is the expanding our aggregation period. So right now, it's a 48-hour aggregation in Florida, which really, if you wanted to, you could start in Tallahassee, take a couple days off, go to Jacksonville, take a couple days off, go down to Tampa. So we really believe that number needs to be much, much larger, as well as Grace said, working with the bill sponsors to come to, if any raise, a reasonable raise, not a
400%.
Not a 400% raise, because there are people that look at that threshold and they will steal up to that amount, we know. And so that's been our goal, is just educating and having those conversations.
Yeah, so to recap, we want to catch the habitual repeat offenders, not the one-time people that make a mistake. So, all right, well, we'll put a wrap on this week's episode. I want to thank everybody for listening. If you want to get up to date information on what we're doing here at the Capitol in Tallahassee, you can text FL Buzz to 313131. And you can always reach out to any staff members you would like, and we're always happy to help. And we'll also be sending out an email each Friday recapping the progress we make on bills that impact your business. So keep a lookout for that one. And as always, feel free to reach out to us anytime. Thanks for joining us this week, and we'll talk to you next time.